Do you also think our environment plays a role? So if somebody is working at home and they're in their bed, would that factor in how they sleep based on the environment?
Yes, totally. So one thing I have my clients do is create their sleep sanctuary. So what this includes is we talked about temperature, right? You want to make sure that first of all, you want to associate your bed with sleep because this is how you train your body and your body clock and your rhythms for sleep. So by, doing this like nightly routine, you get into that rhythm, your body expects you to go to sleep. Then when you get into your room, you want to associate your bed with sleep. So when you get into bed, it won't take you that long to fall asleep. So if you have the television blaring or you're working on your laptop or you're scrolling on your phone, that's all going that blue light just will down regulate your melatonin. All it does is tell your body it's daytime, time to stay awake. And then you have all the other stimuli on those devices or checking work emails, that tick you off, that then get your brain going. So that's, you've got to get rid of that. I think, one thing that I do is the one screen I have that I use every night is my Nook, right? I read every night, but I wear blue blocking glasses. So I put on blue blocking glasses about an hour before I go to bed, and that blocks all the blue light. And I honestly, I feel myself getting sleepy as soon as I put them on, and it really helps your melatonin to kick in because for your body to, be able to secrete that melatonin, it needs darkness. And cortisol and melatonin are like yin and yang, antithesis, of each other. So, you don't want things that are raising your cortisol, stressing you out, having your room as dark as possible, and if that means wearing a sleep mask or blackout curtains or, for me, even if there's a nightlight in the room, it'll disturb me. I mean, if I go to a hotel or something and there are like night lights, I like unplug them all. And I have one in my bathroom that is like a red orangey light. So then if I go in there, it doesn't really impact it. Having comfortable bedding, um, there's just, so many things with just creating that sleep environment.
Definitely. And I found that having those, those LED strip lights. So what I'll do, I'll create a sanctuary. I'll put those lights on, but very, very low. So it'd be like a nice deep red. I'll put it on and do my meditation an hour before bed. And I find that I knock right out.
Well, you've gotten your body into that rhythm, right, of doing that on a consistent basis. And, when you're meditating, you're going into, that more relaxed parasympathetic state. And, meditation, I used to like meditate and be like, why? Why am I doing this? I don't feel like it's doing anything. But I stuck with it. And what I found out, how it really helps me with sleep, is it helps me not go down rabbit holes with my thoughts because you're training, right? You're training your mind to let the thoughts pass and not get caught up in it. And I've definitely found out. So if I wake in the middle of the night, say I need to go to the restroom, all of a sudden it used to be like my mind would just like start. Ooh, yeah, no turning back. But through consistent meditation, now I'm able to just be, focused on my breath or, one thing. I do a little mantra as I'm going to, like, if I get up to go to the restroom at night, and all I do is like, no thoughts, no thoughts, no thoughts. And it works. It really works.
It does. I found that it completely stops a rabbit hole.
That's a hard thing, like waking up in the middle of the night and all of a sudden your mind turns on. So, there's meditation, so many different meditations you could do, but it's really, again, trying to refocus on something else, whether that's like a body scan meditation where you come out of your head, and more into your body. It's mindfulness meditation where you're focusing on your breath, or even doing breath work. like box breathing, all, there's so many different types of breath work that you could do. So those are things that definitely help with that.
What do you believe are the consequences of bad sleep overall on our health, the way we live our lives? What is your opinion on it?
Yeah. So the day after a bad sleep, I think, first of all, you're going to find yourself being more hungry because it messes with your hunger hormones. So if you have poor sleep, you down regulates your leptin, which tells your body you're full, and it upregulates your ghrelin, which tells your body you're hungry. And then it also messes up, as we talked about before, your blood sugar balance and your insulin. So I always find myself like hungry earlier than usual because usually I can go like 12, 14 hours without eating. If I have bad sleep, I wake up, I'm like hungry or I hangry, probably would be like a more apropos word. Brain fog, lack of concentration, lack of motivation, all of my good intentions of being productive on a new project or, working out, it just really goes out the window. It really does. Moodiness, irritability. It gets to a point where I'm just like happy to get through the day, let alone do anything, health wise, productivity wise, anything like this. Memory issues, all of those things. When it becomes chronic, those things can really manifest into depression, chronic anxiety, even chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, and like down the line, neurological conditions like dementia and Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. You really need sleep, and you need sleep. I mean, you have to go through all the stages of sleep. They're very important to every aspect, of your physiology. In deep sleep, you're repairing, your muscles, your tissues, your brain is, washing out all the toxins and the proteins it doesn't need. In your REM sleep, you really, to me, that's like your brain's, spa time where you're consolidating memories, and creativity is important. If you don't have good REM sleep, your creativity goes out the window. So having that sleep, steady sleep, is super important to your day to day and then your long term health.
What are the stages that you go into for a good night's rest?
Yeah. So typical stages in the beginning, stage 1 and 2 is you're starting to get tired, and your body's relaxing. You're starting to like kind of detach from your environment. In stage 2, that's when your breathing slows down, your body temperature comes down, your muscles start to relax. You might like find yourself like, did you ever like as you're falling asleep, you find yourself twitching?
What causes that?
It's just your body going into that next cycle, I guess. It's something to do with the muscles relaxing. The first part of the night is when most of your deep sleep happens. And again, that is, that's really important for regeneration of tissues and muscle building. Um, you know, again, flushing the toxins out of your brain, and it's more like that physical rejuvenation that you need to go through when you're sleeping, because like when you work out, when you do like all these things, sleep is when the benefits come from that, because all day long you're breaking your body down, right? And that's what muscle building is, right? You're breaking it down and then it has to heal and build back up. That all happens in your sleep, and usually during deep sleep. Also, in that time, it's your hormones are regulating. So whether that's your sex hormones, your hunger hormones, as we talked about before, all of your hormones are processing the way they should. Your liver is detoxifying. All of your body systems are on this circadian clock, and a lot of that happens during our sleep. During REM sleep, that's towards the like later stage of sleep. You go through all the cycles. Each cycle is about 90 minutes, but the bulk of your deep sleep's in the beginning, and the bulk of your REM sleep is towards the middle end of the night. And that's when you start having your dreams, and that's when you have consolidated memories.
Nightmares? maybe?
Yes. Yeah, you could definitely have those. I've had those for sure. And then there's light, there's periods of light sleep intertwined in between that, which is also important. So it's not only important to get, 6 to 8 hours, depending on what works for you, of sleep, but the quality of your sleep matters as well to really, be working on all your cylinders.
Hey guys, I would like to take a moment to introduce you to our app, Yoga Plus. You will have access to an incredible selection of videos led by top instructors in yoga, fitness, nutrition, and so much more. Download our Yoga Plus app available on iOS and Android today.